Today's news. Imprisoned journalist appeal dismissed. Democracy on the focus of EU-Azerbaijan relations. Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic ignores journalists' information inquiries. Disgraced investigator receives promotion. Concern over rise in drug use.
Imprisoned journalist Einullah Fatullayev returned to the Baku Appeals Court today to appeal against the July 6th ruling by the Garadag Regional Court. Judge Mirpasha Husseinov led the hearing. Fatullayev's first objection was to the presiding judicial staff. The present judge illegally sentenced me to pre-trial detention on November 5th of last year and violated my right to being innocent until proven guilty. In addition, Judge Husseinov behaved aggressively towards me and towards other journalists. He would not release me on a 101,000 manat bail, nor on a conditional release, said Fatullayev. After deliberation, the judge dismissed the objection. Fatulayev's new lawyer, Anar Gasimov, filed a motion requesting time to familiarize himself with case materials. The judge fulfilled this motion and rescheduled the hearing for the afternoon of January 25th. In 2007, Einullah Fatullayev, editor-in-chief of Realny Azerbaijan and Gundelik Azerbaijan newspapers, was sentenced to 8.5 years in jail for threatening terrorism, along with other charges. In July of this year, he was sentenced to an additional 2.5 years in prison by the Garadag District Court under charges of drug possession, widely agreed to be fabricated. In October 2010, the European Court of Human Rights issued a final and absolute ruling for his innocence and has demanded his immediate release. The Azerbaijani Supreme Court plenum in November only partially fulfilled the decision.
In 2010, the dialogue between the European Union and Azerbaijan on ensuring the rule of law and fundamental liberties has been enhanced, says the report prepared by Tehran Information Agency. As of autumn of last year, Tehran has been implementing a project on information support to Euro integration with support from the German Marshall Fund. It has also produced analyses of the EU-Azerbaijan relations. The research covered 5 main spheres: the general dialogue and reforms, cooperation on fair judgment and liberties and security, economic and social reforms, poverty reduction and stable development cooperation, including transport, energy, and ecology, and human relations. The research revealed that despite the Azerbaijan government's ongoing defiance of its obligations, active dialogues were held on democracy, human rights, and freedom of expression within the framework of the Eastern Partnership. Political expert Elchin Mehtiev noted that the main focus of the EU-Azerbaijan dialogue was human rights, fundamental liberties, international relations, and security cooperation. According to him, science and technology were excluded from the dialogue. Tehran Information Agency Director Mehman Aliyev noted that the Azerbaijani government has increased the control on mass media outlets. Aliyev also highly appreciated the determined position of European institutions and international NGOs, which are demanding the immediate release of Einullah Fatullayev. The participants' opinions on EU institutions differed when commenting on estimates for this year. However, the Friedrich Naumann Fund project manager for the Southern Caucasus, Yasemen Pamuk, called on them not to describe the EU institutions as representative of the whole of Europe. Europe is a broad nation. Azerbaijan is a part of Europe, noted Pamuk. Based on the results of the project, journalistic initiatives to access information in the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic being carried out by Rasul Jafarov, an IRFS employee, government agencies in the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic never replied to information inquiries of journalists. According to him, the state bodies of the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic are not responding to the inquiries, and therefore it is not possible to finish the project and prepare the final report. He mentioned that it was planned to prepare 2 reports for the project. The first report was prepared at the beginning of November, and the monitoring results on the availability of websites in the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic were reflected in it. During the monitoring, it was found out that only 5 of 40 governmental agencies in the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic have websites. The information inquiries questioned the reasons for the lack of websites and the activity rate of the existing websites. An inquiry on prisoners' rights for early release was sent to the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic Ministry of Justice. Another inquiry sent to the Nakhchivan City Executive Power questioned the places that are allowed for mass assembly. However, none of the 25 inquiries submitted within the past 3 months received any response. It prevents us from completing the project and preparing a final report, Jafarov said. Jafarov is going to sue various government agencies in the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic for violating his right to obtain information. We are in the process of preparing lawsuits, he said.
At a press conference at the Institute for Reporters' Freedom and Safety today, human rights defender Vedadi Iskandarov announced that a former investigator at Goychay Regional Prosecutor's Office has been promoted, despite his pending corruption investigation. The rights defender alleged that Avtandil Agiev, who worked at the prosecutor's office until August of last year, had demanded bribes in his professional capacity. In November 2009, Nariman Agayev's daughter died as a result of a congenital heart defect. The investigator removed the corpse to further investigate the cause of death, he said. He then demanded 3,000 manat for the body's return. Nariman was eventually able to bargain him down and obtained his daughter's body for 1,000 manat. Iskandarov expressed his dismay that despite the ongoing investigation of this incident, the former investigator has just been appointed as lead assistant of the Tatar regional prosecutor. The Association for the Protection of Women's Rights held a press conference today on the conclusions of their project on alternative approaches to drug use and public response. The project was funded by the Open Society Institute Assistance Foundation and covered the regions of Ganja, Lankaran, Masali, Zagatala, Kachmaj, Gusar and Sumgait. Representatives of police departments, prosecutor's office and civil society institutions participated in the events held as part of the project. Monitoring conducted in prisons revealed that 40% of prisoners are drug users. The project argues that people should not be imprisoned for drug use if there is no other criminal activity involved. The problem of drug use demands a different approach to other crimes. We believe that Article 231.4 of the Criminal Code, under which drug use is penalized, is a violation of human rights, said Novella Jafaroglu, chairperson of the organization. A member of the Cabinet of Ministers Anti-Drug Commission, Araz Aguliev, said that the judicial system is an inadequate weapon in the drugs war. He perceives drugs as an evil force that constitute an international threat. Commenting on the proposed decriminalization of drug use, Aguliev observes that there is no real structural alternative. Azerbaijan lacks the necessary medical social welfare system. With regard to the total number of drug users in the country, the Interior Ministry stated that they are in the process of establishing this figure and it will be announced on the 28th of January. The event was concluded with an appeal to the government, to Parliament and to all relevant ministries, proposing that Article 234.1 be replaced with alternative mechanisms of social welfare.